Yeah, I think there's a queue. There's myself and Carbayel, but he's probably next in line after us, you know. He looked good tonight, very explosive. And
hey, this is a young kid, 20 years old, with devastating knockout power, bro. This have Mike Tyson type of energy all over it.
He's about one punch away from getting hurt. So big respect to Itauma. I mean, he knew that he can get him out, and he got him out straight away. I mean, I think no one expected it to finish that quick.
Speed kills, as you know.
Speed kills.
The boxing world is electrified after Moses Itauma's stunning first-round stoppage of Dillian Whyte. Antonio Tava applauded the young contender, remarking, "Itauma is unbelievable and carries a style that reminds me of Mike Tyson." He underlined the raw knockout force and composure far beyond his age. Many now see this triumph as Itauma's breakout moment, signaling his arrival as a genuine force in heavyweight boxing with the ability and presence to shape the division's future.
He's going to give these tough guys, he's going to give these veterans a hell of a time, bro. He's poised, he's patient, and he got that knockout power. He know how to set it up. It's going to be a nightmare to get rid of this guy, man.
There's been so much talk of Moses Itauma. His talent, we've said how talented he really is. Now he's doing on the big stage, the main event. That's another level now, isn't it?
Well, we know Dillian Whyte came in here, being knocked out a couple times, wanted to see could he land a punch on this young kid, but he didn't have a chance tonight. He got mowed over, and this is a big win for a young guy. But he got to continue to fight credible opponents, and he got to get tested. He got to fight a young fighter like himself and beat a credible opponent like that, not these old washed up fighters that he can only just look good against. You got to get tested too to see if he's the real deal.
Now talk to me about Dillian. Obviously we can see the work that you put in. Such a brilliant servant to the sport, isn't it?
Say it again, I'm sorry.
For Dillian, we can see the work that he put in this camp. Such a brilliant servant to the sport. If this is the end, how good has Dillian Whyte been?
You know what, Dillian Whyte has been a staple in the heavyweight division. I think it's time for him to hang it up. He can only get hurt a lot worse than he did tonight. You know, fortunately, you know, he didn't get seriously injured, KO'd and knocked out unconscious. You know, he'll be able to take this loss and I think enjoy the rest of his retirement.
Definitely. Just before I let you go, Moses Itauma, is it time to see him in there with Alexander Usyk, or do you still think that might be too soon?
It's too soon for Usyk, bro. He got to earn his title shot. He got to be the real contender. He beat a washed-up has-been tonight.
Ben Davidson's reaction to the dramatic finish carried both admiration and respect. He stressed how significant it was to see a British icon like Dillian Whyte step into the ring again, regardless of the result. Davidson's words conveyed deep appreciation for Whyte's achievements while also recognizing the scale of Moses Itauma's success. For him, the bout represented more than a quick ending. It stood as a symbolic moment that marked a generational handover within the sport.
For the opportunity. British boxing legend. So yeah, really pleased.
We spoke about this before in the week, and let's not kind of cut over the fact that Dillian Whyte has been in with everyone.
100%.
And this was a gamble from your side, from the stepping class between, say, a Dempsey McKean to someone like a Dillian Whyte, and that was a gamble. You took the gamble and it's paid off, but you shouldn't start saying, "Oh, Whyte was whatever" now, because we didn't know what was going to happen tonight.
No, I think it's extremely disrespectful to have that approach. Like I say, nothing but respect with Dillian. Really appreciate him giving us the opportunity, and yeah, I think Moses deserves all the credit that he should be getting.
Did you expect it to come that early?
No, I didn't. Being honest, I know that he's always capable. He's a very difficult heavyweight to be in there with. Very difficult to defend against. He hits hard enough where he's hitting you with shots that you don't see, and hits hard enough to put you away with those. So I know that he can come at any moment, but yeah, he saw the opportunity, picked up on something that he'd worked on. Big shout out to Lee Wiley as well. Puts a lot of time in, a lot of effort in, and fantastic in putting together a scouting report and picking up on Dillian's tendencies for us to go away and put together some drills and rep that with Moses, and yeah, it all paid off. Everyone's work paid off.
Tyson Fury shared his thoughts on Moses Itauma's explosive victory over Dillian Whyte. The reigning heavyweight champion praised the display, saying, "That's him, the future of the sport. Been saying it all along." Fury's endorsement added major weight, proving that Itauma's win was not only shocking but also respected by the elite. Veteran promoter Frank Warren described the fight as a fierce and unforgettable showing. In his view, Itauma's blistering speed and sharp finish delivered a statement to the global boxing scene. The brief contest highlighted his intensity and killer instinct, showing he could thrive under big fight pressure against an established name. Warren's focus on precision and brutality reflected exactly what both fans and promoters crave: excitement paired with undeniable skill.
Certainly don't, and there weren't any overtime. It was an unbelievable, ruthless, short performance. Caught him with good shots and done an absolute job.
Did you expect that?
No. I fancied him to win. I thought he'd stop him, but I didn't think it would be like that.
Frank Hrgovic next?
Don't know yet. We'll see what happens. No rush today. We've got a load of options, and we'll consider what we're going to do.
How do you match this guy now?
We'll match him.
But, I mean, no one's giving him rounds.
Sorry?
Frank Warren later posted, "Moses Itauma is the real deal. We just witnessed something extraordinary." His remark captured the scale of Itauma's win and the effect it left on the sport. Praise from such an experienced figure signaled that this was a defining occasion. Adero emphasized how rare it is for someone so young to reach such heights. He pointed out that Itauma's age allows years of growth and dominance ahead. Defeating a veteran like Whyte so decisively suggested immense promise. Oladipo added that the coming 2 to 3 years could shape Itauma's lasting reputation, noting he already holds the discipline, talent, and fearlessness that often take fighters much longer to develop. His view made clear that Itauma's rise has only just begun with boundless potential.
Was clearly done, and we'll get to whether or not Dillian Whyte is done. So there are going to be some that say, look, okay, what's Dillian Whyte done in the last couple of years? And these things are true, and I spoke about those things as well, but I don't want to change what the narrative was or what the narrative has been in the last couple of days. With everyone seeing the way Dillian Whyte looked and the way Dillian Whyte was speaking, I think a lot of people are like, well, 1 second, something might happen here. Let's remember that, because something did happen. Moses Itauma was just a steam train. Honestly, this guy, for 20 years of age, 20, remember all these heavyweights that you're seeing right now that are in their peak, are in their mid to late 30s, and most of them became world level operators in their mid to late 20s. He's doing it as a baby. This guy is 20 years and 7 months. And, you know, I've been like around Andy Lee for the last couple of days, and it's been so good being around Andy, because Andy has told me stories of watching Moses spar Joseph Parker. And even Andy's been waxing lyrical about him. And he doesn't have to, right? This is off camera, this isn't on camera, these are private conversations. And he's like, this dude is good. Because there's been a lot of talk about if this was to go and turn into a dogfight, maybe Dillian Whyte would have the advantage. And I think I said this as well, to be fair. And Andy kind of shut that down straight away, said, no. Like, I've seen this guy in a dogfight. So maybe he's talking about the spars with Joseph Parker. But I'm just so excited about what this kid can be in the next 2 or 3 years. I am. I like the way the Americans are talking about him, because it's so hard for Brits to kind of get the thumbs up from American fight fans, American fighters.
Dave Caldwell summed up the moment with one word: devastating, capturing the impact of the knockout. He praised Itauma as a fighter who always delivers, thrilling audiences with pace and intensity. Caldwell believed this performance proved Itauma offers more than power. He brings a show that spectators won't forget. By recognizing his relentless tempo, Caldwell suggested the young heavyweight has what it takes to become a crowd favorite, consistently delivering the kind of energy that keeps boxing vibrant.
Devastating, stunning, spectacular. You can throw all the words you want at it. It was brutal, and this is what I feared going in. I'm a bit, you know, when fighters give their all to the career, and you watch them throughout the years having wars and giving everything, like Dillian Whyte against Chisora. You saw the action with the AJ fight. You look at him throughout all his career, he always goes out there, gives everything, has a tear up, is exciting, he's a big character, big personality. And then when they get to a stage of the career where you feel as though it's that fight where where it's kind of like it's way too much for them, and it's going to be, quite a nasty ending for them, a nasty ending to a career. I kind of I was worried for Dillian going into that this would be that fight, and it was. I mean, that you don't get as it can't be any worse than that to punctuate a career, to end a career.
Before we talk about what's potentially next for Dylan, let's talk about Moses. It's hard because we almost want to, I think, feel like we want to learn a bit more about him. And no, genuinely, yeah. I wanted at least to see about 4 or 5 rounds, and maybe I don't want to necessarily say, "Oh, I'll get clipped with a few," because if you can move out the way, great.
You want questions asked, don't you?
I want to see. If you get dragged into the trenches a little bit, where can we go here? But you don't ever get that far. So is that, I suppose, maybe the only thing you go, I thought we'd have seen a bit more of him.
Yeah, that's what you want to. You want to tick boxes as a fan, as somebody who's trying to see how far this kid can go. When we get something spectacular, you want to see him have questions put in front of them and see, like you say, can they go a few rounds? What happens? Yeah, because there's still those unanswered questions that we've got. Can he carry it on throughout the later rounds? Can his feet stay sharp? Can he, does he retain that sharpness, past 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds?
Commentators were quick to reject any claim that Whyte's defeat stemmed from lack of preparation. They noted he entered in strong shape, armed with years of top-level experience. That only magnified Itauma's achievement, as he had never faced an opponent of Whyte's stature before. By dominating so clearly, Itauma showed he possessed both composure and force to stand at the sport's highest tier. Analysts concluded the win marked him out as a future champion capable of ruling the heavyweight rank soon.
He was a bigger step up than Moses Itauma had ever faced in his career. Remind you guys, the kid only has now 13 fights. And this was supposed to be somewhat of a test for Moses Itauma. This is supposed to tell us where he was in the pantheon of heavyweight and what you can do with him next. If he is going to struggle with guys like Dillian Whyte, you can't fast-track him to a world title. If he goes out and does what he did, which is absolutely beat the brakes off Dillian Whyte, demolish him, and make it look like they should have never been in the ring together, then you have to fast-track him to a world title. You have to have him fighting the best in the world. Whether it's Parker or Cabiel, whoever's not fighting Usyk next, whether it's a returning Anthony Joshua, we'll talk about that in a second. Whether it's a Tyson Fury, no one's probably going to want to take that risk right now because of their legacies, because of what's set in stone. So you're probably going to have to give him some younger, hungry heavyweights, like I said, a Parker or a Cabiel. But I'm telling you right now, it is not a matter of if, but when that kid gets to a world title, because dog, he's out here making this look easy. He is playing heavyweight boxing on easy mode right now. And it's not because he's boosting the sliders. It's because the competition just is not there for him. They tried to give him a step up with Dillian Whyte, and he made it look like a walk in the park. Let's talk about the fight. They both walked out. By the way, Styles P on the walkout for Moses Itauma, him as the voiceover saying, the future isn't coming, the future is here, the future is now. That's some big fucking balls. I'm talking 2 grapefruits hanging in your shorts to walk out to your own voiceover.
After the bout, Itauma spoke with a notably modest attitude. He shared that he had been involved in boxing since the age of 9, always prioritizing perfecting his craft rather than chasing fame. His remarks revealed a deep love for the sport, built on the ambition to be remembered as a great fighter instead of a celebrity figure. This sincerity struck a chord with fans who value authenticity in athletes. Itauma's focus on legacy and pure dedication over commercial success reflected maturity that separated him from many of his peers.
Online shopping, something like that. I've never been a person to focus on that. My goal was never to be a superstar or to sell out Wembley, or that's never been on my agenda. Me personally, I've been boxing since I was 9 years old. It's just something that I do. If I don't box, I feel out of place. I don't feel comfortable in myself. So I'm chasing that thing that I've always had as a little kid, and that's just to be a fighter, and everything else kind of falls into place, doesn't it?
Aiming with seconds out, question for Moses. You referenced in the pre-fight build-up that you felt that Whyte was as per the rules. Sorry.
Ron Goodall posted, Moses Itauma set everything up with his feints. Did exactly what was expected with all the hype, and delivered the best win of his career. His words highlighted Itauma's sharp technical skills and calmness under the spotlight. The use of deceptive feints showed experience well beyond his years, and producing such a performance on a big stage erased any lingering doubts. Many analysts had predicted Whyte's veteran background would push Itauma into deep waters, expecting a longer contest where weaknesses might appear. Instead, the early knockout overturned every forecast. This surprise element magnified the victory's weight, proving Itauma could not only handle pressure but also surpass expectations with authority. His ability to close the fight so quickly reinforced his reputation as a rare and dangerous prospect.
We've got something here. Maybe we can, maybe he can go a couple of rounds. Not saying he's going to win, but maybe he can go a couple of rounds and, you know, pull something out. You know, maybe just be competitive. We've questions of Itauma that we need asked. Maybe Dillian Whyte is the guy to ask them. All right, and that's what we're thinking. Maybe, right? So, you get the fight week. And Dillian Whyte is very much in a, you know, it's the Itauma show, and being very respectful to Itauma. Now, some people were saying maybe that's Dillian Whyte trying to play mind games with Itauma, lull him into a false sense of security. Others were saying maybe it's him checked out. Again, I was kind of like, nah, it's probably him just playing the mind games. He'll probably get taken out, but Itauma will go rounds. Dillian Whyte weighs in. Career lightest, or no, sorry, not career lightest, but lightest he's been in a decade. And I spoke to a few people in Saudi who were there today and said that they think the scales were a little bit off and that he actually could have been lighter, right? Believe it or not. So everyone was buzzing for this. Now, I did say, I think yesterday in the video I did, that maybe Dillian Whyte, could he have taken the weight off too soon? Could he be a little bit weak? Who knows, right? But either way, we go to the fight tonight. They're both in the ring. Dillian Whyte looks on it. And here we go. It's fight night. Now, from the get-go, the speed was a problem for Dillian Whyte. Itauma was just too fast. You could see it. That hand speed, like that. It was just phenomenal. And you're just like, oh God. For me, you could see the writing was on the wall.
McGirt, who trained Whyte, offered a straightforward assessment of what took place. Admitted that Dillian Whyte was struck flush by Itauma's punch and simply couldn't recover fast enough. McGirt also defended the referee's stoppage, saying it was the correct decision for Whyte's protection. Crucially, he recognized that Itauma possesses the tools to become a future world champion, a statement carrying weight from such an experienced trainer. This acknowledgement underlined the magnitude of Itauma's display against such a seasoned opponent.
Your immediate reaction to the fight, what do you think went wrong tonight?
Well, he got caught. He couldn't recover, basically. You know what I mean? If that's all you can say, you can't say nothing else. You know, got hit with a good shot, didn't recover, and the referee did what he felt was right.
A lot of people will obviously say, you know, was it the inactivity? Is he still in his prime days? All that kind of stuff. Sometimes take the credit away from Moses. What do you think?
You know what? Right now, my mind is like blank, to be honest. You know what I mean? So, my mind is blank, to be honest, right now. I mean, I don't want to say anything out of character, so not in a bad way, but like your mind is going 1,000 times right now. So I'm just gonna hang out with him the rest of the night and enjoy the rest of the stay here in Saudi Arabia.
Just a last word on Moses Itauma. How good is he from what you just saw ringside, close up?
Listen, I know the kid is good. I know he can fight. You know what I mean?
Speaking after the contest, Davidson expressed pride in how Itauma dealt with the occasion. He stressed that the success wasn't just about sheer force, but preparation, discipline, and mental toughness. From a trainer standpoint, Davidson pointed out the immense work invested in getting Itauma ready for this stage. He believed the performance validated Itauma's rise, proving he had earned his place among elite competition. His words hinted that the camp views this victory as the starting point toward championship opportunities.
You'd have worked sort of tirelessly over the last few weeks over the game plan. Was you surprised with how early it went with that?
No, we knew there was an opportunity of that. Like I said there, Lee Wiley lost his mum through that camp, so really appreciative of the work that he always does. Put together a scouting report, picked up on Dillian's tendencies to a T. We repped it, drilled it, and Moses went out there and executed it. So, fantastic job. And as we keep saying, he's a very, very difficult fighter to get through the rounds with, and without taking punishment. He's hitting you with shots that you don't see coming. He hits plenty hard enough to hurt you with those shots. So, yeah, like I say, knew it was a possibility. But yeah.
Arab Newsport posted, Moses Itauma confirmed his status as a heavyweight contender with a first-round knockout of Dillian Whyte on Saturday at the ANB Arena in Riyadh. The message reflected the worldwide impact of Itauma's triumph. His swift win over a proven veteran was far more than a simple result. It was a declaration that he belongs at the sport's highest tier. The knockout officially announced his arrival as a legitimate contender in the heavyweight division.